Probably spend the rest of the day, probably not quite, but most of the afternoon here blowing off the combine. And then we'll do the same with the others. Morning. Today is, what are we looking at? October 3rd. It's Thursday. We got done harvest on Saturday, and I got done bombing around doing kochia patches yesterday. So today we're gonna do my least favorite job on the farm, and that's blowing off combines before storage. Now, we've done things differently in the past, and it worked okay. Depending on where we finish off with the combines is a lot of times where we end up needing to, or not needing, but deciding to do the clean off. Now, what historically we've been doing is kind of doing it over there. Bins weren't there. Just running an extension cord and hauling out the air compressor and the Milwaukee blowguns. And pretty much we're going to do something similar, but I think I'll just do it behind the other bins. Now, if you're not a farmer and wondering why it sucks so bad cleaning off combines, well, you get dirt in every nook and cranny of your body. Not dirt, but dust. Some of it's itchy and scratchy. Usually gets in your eyes despite wearing a mask. Usually you're coughing for days afterwards. And then you still gotta wash the damn thing. And when you wash it, you find all the spots that you missed. So right here, it's my 8230. On the other side of the shelter belt, so we've actually got two shelter belts, 2.5. There's a small one behind the bins, then our yard, another row of evergreens, and then you go way out and there's a bunch of poplars, like way over there. And yeah, Dad's is over there. Now, I might have done this in another video, but Dad's combine is spec'd out pretty close to what I would like. Now, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is going to be the last year for these. I said that last year. Now, my combine's getting to the point where I have too many hours to where I'm comfortable. It's got about 3,000 engine hours, about 2,300 threshing hours. And that's not to say that we don't take good care of them. It's been a pretty solid machine. I have not had any major breakdowns. I've had a couple serious ones. I did have a fuel pump in this. Was it this one or was that the 8120? I've only been farming 6 years and everything's starting to run together. And I would like to get something. I'm kind of leaning around the 2020, 2021 model year. I do need to get caught up. Like, this is a 2013. Dad's, I believe, is a 2017. Pretty sure it's a 2017. This has been a damn good combine to us. It was Dad's before I bought it. He put the guidance on it, like the auto steer, and yeah, it's every year we go through it with fine-tooth comb, change all the chains, and do as much work as we can. And if we see something more serious, we will send it away. But we just got the call this week for booking for the inspections. And it's been a couple years since I wanted to send this away last year for an inspection, but they were fully booked. Now this year, well, we're going to trade it, so I don't see a lot of point in that. I'll get an inspection on the new one and just fold that into the financing. I think Dad's going to replace his 8240 as well. This is getting, I pushed it for a couple years, and you know, it's just time. Like, it's got 3,100 something like that engine hours, close to 2,300 threshing hours, and it's been well kept. Like, we had almost no issues with it this year. We had a sensor fail on the chopper, of all things, and yeah, other than that, Christ, I can't even. Oh, we had the rethrasher get plugged up, but that's just because we hit a really green patch, and I think that's it. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Anyways, kind of hoping to find like probably a 2020, 2021 8250. Now, I do want the automation. It's nice when you got good even crop, or even subtle changes. It's where there's big changes is where I found it lagged, especially when you're going from light to heavy suddenly. Maybe you're going into a wet spot. It just doesn't, there's no AI or even forward-looking radar, or maybe you could even take crop health imagery maps or something like that to have it predict how heavy the crop's going to be. But there's a lot of time where you essentially ram into heavy crop, and it takes 3-4 seconds before the engine load or the sieves react, and all of a sudden you look down and you're at 125% engine load, which, I mean, you're using all of it and then some. But yeah, that's kind of the goal. We'll do some shopping around, see what we can find. Wouldn't mind a New Holland, wouldn't mind a Claus. Not terribly keen on John Deere. That's just personal preference. I'm not here to drag anything, and you know what, I'd demo damn near anything too. But just kind of what I'm going to be looking for. So one of the biggest things that we have an issue with, I guess we can put them together, is these lift cylinders. I have the small ones. I think they're 75 mil, or anyways, I have the smaller ones. Dad has the bigger ones that you can go up to a 50-foot header with. And the auger, this guy is pretty much tapped out. You might get a 40-foot auger or 40-foot header on it. You can't lift it, but it'd be really tight with the grain cart. Some of the big differences between mine and Dad's: he's got the luxury cab, so it's all leather, which is nice. He's got, as I said, the bigger lift cylinders, a little more horsepower, the hydraulic folding top. And now it's nice to have the hydraulic, even if this one would fold and seal, but it doesn't. I don't like that. He's got the pointable spout, bigger tires on the back. The one thing you might have seen is we snapped an inner again on Dad's, one of these. So that might be something we get, and we get new combines. We take the tires off and we send them to a machine shop nearby. There's a guy at Elida that does that, beefs them up real good. They have a different style air cleaner on the newer ones. Probably a lot less hours. That's the majority of the changes. Like I said, more horsepower, a little more tank capacity. I would probably, if I had the choice to have the auger that is for a 45-foot header, I think would be ideal. I don't expect we'll get bigger than 40-foot heads. I like the 40-foot size. I think it's a good fit for a Class 8 machine. And yeah, other than that, there's a lot of features around the automation. But as far as this girl, she's been well kept. I do as much as I physically can as far as crawling around, taking off things, checking plays and guards, and making sure everything's in line. There's a few things that we don't have either the tools or the shop or the equipment for. I know lots of guys will take these feeder houses off every year and go and check everything out. I don't have the ability to do that. Ooh, another thing with the new ones is they have better lights. They're LED. So, yeah, that's, oh, and diff lock. Dad has diff lock in his. I do not. Well, Zach and I got this header taken care of. Still needs a pressure wash, but it doesn't take long to do that. I'm going to say blowing off the header is about a quarter of the work of blowing out the combine. So we have 2 combines. I'm going to say that's about 10% of what needs to be done. Probably spend the rest of the day, probably not quite, but most of the afternoon here blowing off the combine. And then we'll do the same with the others. You probably can't tell. Oh, I can barely look. I feel like I have pink eye. I don't, it's just dust. But yeah, this has been a rough couple days. I'm gonna get cleaned up and see if I can get a haircut. But this is probably the last time you see these 2 combines. Dad's got more hours than I thought he did. His has about 2,000 chopping hours. Mine, the 8230, has about 2,200, I think, or 2,300. His is just over 2,000, which I was shocked by. He has less engine hours. He's only got about 2,400 engine hours. Gross. My eyes are just, and that's not making life any better. Yeah, I gotta go get washed up real quick. That didn't help my eyes any. Ooh, that's gross. If you've never had the pleasure of blowing off combines and you don't own goggles, which I actually do own a face mask with like not a pressure respirator, but like cartridges. But I bought a cheap one off of Amazon, and when I cleaned it last year, the lens got really scratched up, so it's just really hard to see. So I didn't bother putting it on. But if you're not familiar, it's not a pleasant feeling. It's like somebody threw sand in your face and then pepper sprayed nearby. I've never personally been pepper sprayed. I have been around on 3 different occasions where somebody within earshot has been pepper sprayed, and twice I was downwind. I was just downtown Calgary waiting in line to go to a bar, and somebody got pepper sprayed, and yeah, it burns real bad. And then all night I'm going to be tearing up, and then I'm going to be pulling chunks out, and in the morning they're probably going to be glued shut just from crusties and snot. So now that you've got that in your head, talking with Dad today, and like I said, he mentioned that this one's got 2,000 hours. I'm like, oh, I didn't expect that, because part of what I was thinking about doing is doing what we did last go round, where I essentially traded my combine on his, and he bought a combine, traded his off, and I traded mine off on his trade-in. Follow? I was kind of thinking about doing that because I was thinking Dad's was only going to have about 1,600 hours, and I was like, I'll run it for a couple of years and then upgrade. I was thinking that with all these new class 10s coming out, 10, 11 machines, that in a couple of years the price of used might come down. But I was also talking with the salesman last year, and he was saying he was thinking this year they might come down, but I think these prices are kind of here to stay now. So we're both thinking that maybe we bite the bullet, take something that's a little more money, and maybe do like a 3 and 5 hop. So I'm going to have a bigger bite, because the trade-in value of mine is going to be a lot lower than Dad's. Mine's a 2013. If I can get something about 8 years newer and have it for 3 years and then do another 5, then I'm running in that 3 to 4 or 2 to 3 year old on the difference, and hopefully it's not so extreme. Maybe at some point we have bumper crop or big prices again. Not likely, but maybe on the bumper crop. But yeah, if we have a good year, then a guy can put more down and close up that difference. But gross, just so sticky. So just pulling black stuff out. I would be open to trying other machines, but man, there's a lot of value in knowing the machines. Like, we'll be going and I'll hear a weird sound and go, oh, this is going, or this is being finicky, okay, change this, or oh, this, just all these things. Or I can even describe to the combine operator over the radio from the grain cart or the semi, when he's saying, oh, well, how do I change this, or where's the GPS this, or how do I do this calibration? I can walk him through over the walkie-talkie if Dad's not in the other combine. It's really nice when Dad's in the other combine and he's got the screen right in front of him. But we're probably going to try for close to matching units as possible. And Dad will likely trade his header at the same time, because he's a 35. It's just really nice having two of the same header. The same size, especially when you're setting your lines. This year was a lot of resetting lines and screwing around and chasing a 5-foot strip here. So we'll probably do that. So we're not going to be washing the combines tomorrow. We got a wind warning coming, so that should help blow off the rest of the dust off of these. Probably Monday, I would guess.